Hello, hello. Thank you for the 3 people that clapped. Really appreciate that. Yeah, come on, let's get some energy. What's up? All right, so insurance, we all know that's really super fun. So let's talk about that at 6 o'clock after everybody's been here for 9 hours with kind of AC, but not really AC, but kind of AC. So really what we've been doing as a firm is we've been working on and helping miners kind of across the country with any of their risk management and insurance needs. So really kind of helping creating customized solutions for miners. And this is Alex Jelinensky, my partner who got caught in traffic. So what we're doing is we're able to install true coverages for miners. So on their general liability, their property insurance, business interruption, cyber, everything kind of across the board. Our firm, we're an insurance broker. We traditionally work with, construction, real estate, energy, really kind of across the board with traditional markets. And about a year ago, we had kind of realized that a lot of our cross-pollination with our energy clients, they started asking us about Bitcoin mining. And we started realizing that, there really wasn't a marketplace for the miners that were out there. You're getting kind of basically coded as a data processor. So when you actually went to file a claim, the carriers were denying you because they were expecting a Dell computer, not an ASIC. And insurance is really only good for anything if you're actually going to get paid for it. So what we've been able to do is kind of act as a professional partner and a professional liaison for the miners out there. Make sure that the language is strong in your contract, making sure that the insurance carriers out there can be held accountable, and making sure that you're just not donating your money to them and then getting nothing back in return. So let's be frank, insurance carriers suck. Insurance isn't fun. We just try and make it a little less sucky and make sure that you actually get something for the money that you put in. So with that, with a lot of miners out there, our core genesis here is really kind of reviewing plans that are in place, going through that contract language in the same way an attorney would to make sure it's kind of a legally binding document, and making sure that what you guys are actually doing on your facilities, whether it's a container, whether it's immersion, whether it's air filtration, whether you have it set up for nuclear, hydro energy, whatever that may be, it's taken care of in the right way. So when you do file a claim, an insurance carrier is actually going to pay you. And then we represent you to the marketplace. So we have a handful of different carriers we work with. Our job is to basically work for you, make sure that pricing is correct, make sure those carriers are on the hook for what you need, and making sure that we're being open and honest with you for everything that's happening. So anybody here that's actually paying attention, do we have some miners in the audience? Does anybody actually feel super comfortable with their insurance or even know what it's covering or understand how it works? Right? It's kind of one of those things that like miners are moving at 1,000 miles an hour. And then it's like, wait, insurance? No, that's for like other things. Mining isn't really that. And what we feel is that this can really bring some legitimacy and continued legitimacy to the space. Because if I'm looking for financing and I'm a real estate company, the first thing that a bank's going to do is say, okay, hey, here's your $50 million. Here's your checklist on insurance. In the mining space, that's just not happening. So if we can truly insure the property value, truly insure the same kind of coverage metrics, what that's going to do is that's going to allow for institutional money, private equity, financing to truly come into the sector and help grow it in an even faster way. So insurance really can kind of equate to legitimacy. And that's one of the things that we're really looking to grow, because then when you're trying to get more money coming into it, these investors know that they're taken care of. The lenders know that they're taken care of in the event of any of these accidents. And y'all personally that are putting your money into this, you guys truly understand that in the event that something happens, you're going to get paid and your business isn't going to go belly up or hit a huge, huge deficit simply because nobody actually took the time to explain what your coverage is. And with that, I'll turn it over to my partner, Alex, who runs Navigator Risk, which is just one of the associates that we work with really closely on pretty much every miner as just another sleeve of service.
Thanks, Dan. And, a lot of the things that we see is, the whole idea of, can we pay claims in Bitcoin? Do I have to convert my money and deal with USD? And a lot of the programs that we put together is really allowing to take away some of that fluctuation and that volatility that obviously is in this space in terms of the cost of the miners, value of Bitcoin, and we've actually lined up the carriers to accept premium payments in Bitcoin, line up if there is a deductible or retention that you're self-insuring, those dollars can be set aside in Bitcoin and there's no reason to convert. So the only time you actually have a conversion scenario is in the event of a claim. And then again, if you're covering part of your own claim, do you necessarily need to convert it or not? So it's really just about being custom and about working towards what works for you. We're also working with programs where groups of miners can work together and essentially have their own loss experience linked together. Again, back to custom, not converting your Bitcoin into USD, and also having traditional carriers sit above you so that if you are going for financing and whatnot, there's traditional insurance behind you, traditional paper that makes everybody who's crossing T's and dotting I's feel good. But then again, you as an investor, you're thinking about all the different variables that you're doing, and how do you not get exposed relative to that volatility? It's volatile enough. So just bigger picture, to Dan's point, is you want to make sure the coverage that you're seeking, that you have, is actually going to cover you in the event of a loss. We're also working with loss of income, right? So in the event of a loss, not only do you have the property loss that you need to deal with, but then the bigger item might be what you were supposed to mine in that period of time while you were downtime. So that's another item that we're insuring against. So really, again, this is all custom to you. The traditional markets aren't writing this because this has never existed before. And like any other new emerging industry, think cannabis or something like that, the traditional markets didn't know how to deal with it, so they stayed away. And that's what's happening here. They're staying away, or they're putting you in a box. And so what we've done is we've not accepted that. For the last 12 months, we've been essentially seeking out the carriers that saw the world the way we see it and wanted to be on the cutting edge. So now we're at that place now. We're starting to get scale. We're working with a lot of different miners from all over the world and all different regions. And now we're starting to have that spread where we actually have their attention. And we're saying, this is what I need you to give me because now I have some size behind me. I have number of accounts. I have value that you want to insure. And that's essentially what the carriers see. The carriers, it's a zero-sum game. They always win. They don't get involved in something unless they know how to make money. So when we have a good group of people working together, we now can assure that they can make money. So I guess that's about as far as I can take this relative to this space. I think custom and thinking not converting your Bitcoin into USD. And that's really the way that we're going. We're not really going to traditional carriers and saying, can you insure this? We're saying, this is how you need to insure it, and I'll give you the structure. Are you interested? And they are. So with that, I'll pass it back to Dan, and thank you for the time.
All right, come on. Somebody give us a question, anything on the mind, somebody from the audience that's still awake. Oh, yes. I didn't even get to finish berating everybody. So the question was, where are the carriers based? A lot of them we do have domiciled in the U.S., Puerto Rico, Bermuda, just kind of across the board. It really depends on where the most advantageous carrier is for the risk. And like Alex said, depending on how customized we get, but most of the time we're writing on A-rated paper. Are they London carriers? Oh yes, we also have some London-based carriers as well. Left out our British friends. Come on, anybody else? They were stretching, got it. So for anybody, we're insurance folks, so naturally we have to make the sales pitch. We are in the back right corner over there. Everything's green. It's with the name you can barely frickin' pronounce that starts with an H. I'm the tall guy that looks pretty in pictures. Alex is the smart one. So please come back with any further details. We're happy to help out. We'll be the least shitty version of insurance you've ever dealt with.